The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168.
I'm pumping my tires here, Adam, and that's because I have guests like you and Darren Frost on. You guys make this show better. Sounds like this is a good conference to be at. So what was sort of the techie world, and like, you know, I would imagine there's even blockchain out there and stuff. Like, how is there relations to you guys and cannabis now? Is that sort of like something that is started to talk about, merging these spaces?
Yeah, so that C2 was about just talking about what the cannabis industry looks like, what are some of the challenges we face as an industry, what are all the benefits of legalization, what do some of the detractors say, and of course, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of other programming around it. I mean, I went to a really, really interesting workshop on 3D printing of like human tissues. I saw, this workshop was all about like printing organs and skin tissue and really the future of biotech and healthcare. It was just mind blowing. I came away from C2 just super inspired.
That's crazy. They can do that 3D printing of human tissues, but Bilal still is a virgin. It's amazing. It's amazing how technology. It's wild, Adam Greenblatt. What's going on?
That's gonna be a different machine.
Frosty's got a question for you.
So with the C2, were you there to try to entice other companies to somehow get on board, or was it just for you to make connections with those companies?
Yeah, it was all about making connections and just sort of giving our firsthand experience of the legalization process, what it really means, what the implications are of the sort of corporatization of cannabis that's going on now.
And did most companies actually know where we are right now in legalization, or was it more of an education that you had to provide for them?
Oh, yeah, we had to give a lot of background. I mean, like most people only have a passing sort of understanding of where we're at in the process and what's going on and when it's going to happen. So yeah, there was a mix of like, broad strokes, sort of here's the status update, but also like nuanced discussions about sustainability in the sector, approaches to marketing and branding and promotion and that kind of stuff. Challenges we face with regulators, challenges we face as a corporation that operates at the intersection of a massive social justice movement, but also a multi-billion-dollar industry. So it was really quite far-reaching. And then Snoop just like sort of was the cherry on the cake. He was the cherry on the sundae or the icing on the cake, whatever. And he was the sort of headliner of this conference. And Snoop is heavily invested in the new legal marijuana sector. Of course, we produce his Leafs by Snoop line in Canada. And yeah, he was there talking about his perspective on legalization.
He's a lot smarter than people think.
Snoop's a really bright guy.
Snoop's the man. I mean, I've interviewed Snoop before in the past, and yeah, he's a bright cat, but he's also a massive advocate because of how it's helped him, and he's seen it help people, and like for the medical side of things. And I also snuck into a Snoop thing back in New York just a couple weeks ago, but it had nothing to do with any of it. I just bullshitted and said that he invited me there, and his management team believed me.
I tried as well, but I didn't get in.
I faked that I bumped into him in the SiriusXM building in New York because I knew he did Stern that day and he did a couple other shows. I'm like, no, but Snoop, we just missed him, but Snoop told me to come down. That's why I'm here. And they're like, all right, come on in. And I was like, so did he? Because I saw him like right up close. The guy can still bring it. Did he perform too at Greenblatt?
Yeah, no, he brought it. Yeah, man. So he did his keynote.
Right, the lecture.
What a keynote. That'd be cool to watch Snoop Dogg do a keynote, like a Professor Snoop Dogg, like Snoop 101.
It was my thesis sort of interview. It was cool. And then and then DJ Snoopadelic did a show that night and closed off the C2 party, and it was just amazing. People love him. Dude, why didn't you help get Snoop on this show one day? That's not my department.
And now, how is Mr. Linton doing? I'm a little upset with Mr. Linton. We had a big scheduled call when I was in New York a few weeks ago, and I guess he got real busy and stuff, so we didn't get him. But he's He's such a good speaker
busy,
too.
Man. He was at the Senate last week. He was driving all around. He was at the Senate, and then he drove into Montreal to do his presentation at C2. He talked about all kinds of interesting issues facing our sector. But it was it was a really cannabis-infused time.
Man, with all this talking, when do you have time to get high?
I could barely find time.
Like no joke, it's such a big business and it's moving so fast. I mean, I'm joking about the high part, but I mean, in reality,
you guys are
moving
busy
so fast.
Yeah, you guys are super busy. I mean, you guys are they're the largest LP on the planet.
Yeah,
it's crazy how I'm grateful for your time right now. I'm surprised you don't have to go.
Well, I'm going to send you a bill after. But
Yeah.
No, things go a mile a second in the cannabis industry. Like I can barely keep up with what's going on within Canopy, let alone the entire weed sector right now.
So,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Greenblatt. I don't want you to start, docking all these minutes. So I'll quickly wrap this up. But what's going on June 7th? Is there something June 7th? Like, is there another vote or something? Am I wrong about that?
On June 7th, the Senate will vote on the C-45. It's expected to be voted through. At which point it'll go back to the House and receive, I guess, royal assent and become law. And then once it becomes law, then
the bill that's essentially the bill. Well, and it goes fully in depth with many different angles, but really about the legalization of marijuana. So is June 7th a big day then?
Yeah, June 7th is pretty important. We're all going to be biting our nails hoping that the Senate passes it.
Wow, it's so close to the provincial election. I didn't even know that was going through that day.
When is the provincial election?
Isn't that the 6th?
Is that? I think it's the 7th too.
Same day. Wow. I mean,
yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
But I mean, like when you say biting your nails, I don't know, like what?
I think it's going to pass. I bite my nails when I look at some of the amendments that they want to bring to the bills. Like the Senate, there are some senators and there are some. I mean, the entire Quebec government does not want to let adults in Quebec grow for plants at home. It is the most ridiculous, untenable, stupid, ass-backwards position on the planet. And the Senate is looking at amendments that would actually allow provinces to prohibit home cultivation. It's stupid stuff like that. It's like these vestiges of prohibitionist paradigms, like entering this debate when we're supposed to be talking about legalization. We're supposed to be talking about public health, about personal liberty. It all gets lost in this, like in a lot of these like archaic prohibitionist conservative talking points.
I also think that's very cool of you to say, considering you're an LP that would stand to lose a little profit by home grow. So that's I think that's a very respectful thing for you to say.
I mean, letting people grow. I mean, from a business angle, like it's not in our interest to prohibit home growing. Like people who care enough to grow their own cannabis, they also purchase it.
Yeah.
Cannabis seeds and basic cannabis plants. These are products that we could be selling in the near future. So I think it's simplistic to think that we stand to lose money by having people banned from growing their own weed when really like we're totally stoked on that. We want.
Isn't it just like alcohol? You've got homebrew and you've got stuff you can get in the store. So maybe you're not that great at growing it yourself, or you want a different kind of pot, so you have to go to a store to get that. But your home stash is a different kind. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong there?
No, totally, man. You know what's even crazier? And I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but like it's one thing to compare to home brewing. But like, how much tobacco we're allowed to grow in Canada?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that on the show. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, something like it would be like packs and packs a day for the amount that if you were to prorate it.
Yeah, you're allowed to legally grow the equivalent of 2 packs of cigarettes a day of your own tobacco. And there's zero regulation that like oversees it. There's no government body saying like we got to ban home tobacco growing because nobody does it.
Right.
Because they don't need to because you can buy cigarettes.
It's more convenient. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And like so yeah, it's but when you think about just the risk profile of tobacco and you compare that with the amount and the quantities that we're allowed to grow, that's really when the hypocrisy becomes pretty rank when you apply that to cannabis. So it's really frustrating to see them debate these things. It's frustrating to see landlords groups just ripping into home grow and conflating, what happens when like biker gangs like destroy a home for their massive commercial grow ops. And conflating that kind of property damage with, somebody growing 4 plants in their closet or on their balcony or something like that. That's really drives me nuts. Drives me up the wall.
Well, I mean, listen, we appreciate all the knowledge, and I can understand some of the frustrations. And with that being said, it's this is stuff that will be talked about in history books in a couple of years. Like this is pretty revolutionary for a country of our size, and really the first of all the G7 nations to get here where it's going to be legal, right? So I mean, and you guys again being advocates of it, and as you are as a medical licensed producer right now, and soon to be legal, it looks that way. And we always appreciate the knowledge because there's still the stigma, but not a lot of the knowledge, and we get a lot of the knowledge from you, and I think that's important.
I love coming on and sharing the knowledge. It's good.
Thanks, dude. By the way, I got a selfie with Snoop. Did you? I got a selfie with Snoop. I'm just saying.
I won't comment.
Oh, what did you do? No, come on, lay it down.
I got a selfie with Snoopy.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I don't know if that counts for shit, but I want to feel cool too.
I want to hear what Greenblatt did. Dude, you hung out with him a little bit, didn't you?
Like it's not even.
Oh man!
Next time.
The theater of the mind's going again, and I'm picturing tomato and sunglasses. I don't know.
Picture tomato and sunglasses, puffing down with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Hey man, thanks for hanging out with us, and we by the way, we have some tweed swag, and we're gonna give some of that away starting next week. Yeah. So we get some tweed hats and T-shirts and stuff. Tweed swag, man. That's and it's a beautiful logo and stuff. So thank you very much for all that.
Tweed swag is so awesome. I love it.
Oh, no doubt. Adam Greenblatt.
I wear it all the time if I didn't work for Tweed.
Yeah, you still wear it. Yeah. It's like, why not, dude? I wear Shapiro Show stuff and Tweed stuff. I get a lot of. I have a Tweed hat actually. I was in New York. People were like, a lot of questions on the hat. It's amazing. Like people know about the name's big.
Yeah, man.
Okay, you're a dude. At Adam_Greenblatt. Follow this beauty, and thanks for all your help today.
The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168.